Did you make that? Did you make that? Did you make that?
Silent Hill TDS, J. Leo, Hitchhikers, check. I'ma spit fire and propane. Keep a little baggie of some veggies, your romaine. Zombie ass bitch tryna eat up the whole brain. While this bummy ass nigga still asking for more change. Get your taste buds lit, popping right under your tongue. Lighten up a sharp strain, feel like it's chopping your lungs. Smoke another leaf to the head, feeling like Danny Phantom. Got a medicine jar in my car full of zany samples. Running with the factions when my rations getting low. Get down on the floor, blood races like I'm whipping blow. Shit show for show, I don't know, I just release and go. Can't hear what you're saying, this sweet too loud and you're speaking low. Johnny smoking haze, ain't a blaze, I got heat to throw. Then I'm let the heater flow and send it to the heat below. Think it's a game, I pick today before you let him roll. Think I'm insane, but from the start I never had control. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale of the moonlight? Have you ever laid with a demon with the flames by your bedside? Smoking the air, sipping on spirits, get the mood right, get the crew hype. Middle fingers to the blue lights, dancing on your grave while I gaze into the moonlight.
Rolling through the city, heart is empty, but I'm feeling frisky, knowing I can make it even though these niggas want it in me. Got some rolling papers and some bitches, yeah, we getting litty, feeling out of place. Fuck it, I got my niggas with me. We on a long road, smoking trees and bagging hoes. Love is faded, I'm jaded, consequences are never told. Running out of characters, the real me is getting old. Facing the facade, 50 shades, and I fall below. I'm on some new shit, underworld a new bitch. Your loose lips tangle you up, I guess this news fits. I do this, spitting some fire in meth doom. Hits the sun god, bringing some light. Now watch your mood switch, hieroglyphs when writing scripts. Namaste but conquering, conjuring some spirits in the valleys where they die and quit. Just a gladiator on a righteous tip, still sharp and steel, but I'm colder than the Arctic gets.
Cheer. How's everybody doing tonight? It's your boy Wild Carmar in the building. Episode 151. I.O.W. Sports Late Night Al Edition. I'm happy to be here. As much as my homie Matt tried to downplay me, like, oh, you gonna fall asleep? Nah, your boy is right here. I am here. And as always, it's your boy 40 Water, aka Silent Hill, him and J. Leo, Pale Moon Devil Dance, the official, unofficial theme song to the I.O.W. Sports Late Night Al Edition. See it scrolling on the bottom screen. Go show them fellas some love. Go to YouTube. I know my guy. What's up, Matt? How you doing, my brother? I'm here, man. I'm here. Hope you had a fantastic day, my brother. Hope you had a fantastic day. Like always, going over to YouTube. Go show some support and love to the homie 40 Water, aka Silent Hill, him and J. Leo, providing the official, unofficial theme song to the I.O.W. Sports Late Night Out. And while you're on YouTube, go show some love to the I.O.W. Sports page, I.O.W. Sports Network, as well. Show some love to Man Down Podcast Network. I know Man was just on talking about that Nets and Philly trade. We'll talk about that in a second. Of course, the Khalil Mack trade that went down today. We'll kind of talk about the impact of Russell Wilson leaving Seattle. Of course, earlier this week he got traded from Seattle to Denver. But there's some feelings of the locals in Seattle that got something to say about it. We'll talk about baseball losing the lockout seems to be over. We'll talk about any and everything. Right now, Golden State Warriors are leading 88-83 over the Denver Nuggets. That's a good game going on right now. So I'll provide you guys a little update on the finish of that. When we get to it. But look, without further ado, y'all know how we get down. Yeah, man. I'm glad life is good, man. You get a little mat time. Ain't nothing wrong with a little mat time. Wifey and the kids is down. It'd be like that, especially when you're night out. I love being a night out for that specific reason. The rest of the house is asleep. I get a chance to just, woosah, clear my head, do what I do, smoke my weed in peace, I ain't bothering nobody. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. But without further ado, y'all know how we get down. We got to set the mood. We got to get it right. We got to get popping with a Wild Card Mart top play of the night. And I like this guy, Kaminga, Jonathan Kaminga. He's part of the Warriors squad, but the Warriors are getting a lot of contributions from a lot of people. But Jonathan Kaminga brought the house down today. Check it out.
On the game clock, Bielitsa leaves it. Kaminga fires it down. Oh, Jonathan Kaminga. He's putting up these kind of plays each and every night for the Warriors. You're watching the NBA on TNT.
Jonathan Kaminga bringing the house down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, he is. My motherfucking guy. What's up, LaCour? What's up, brother? How you doing? The top play of the night is the entire whole Nets laid on Philly. Yeah, they laid an ass whooping, bro. They laid an ass whooping. And we'll get to that in just a second, but this is the reason why I know it's too early because we got a whole playoffs and a few more weeks left in the regular season to get through on NBA. But when you see players like Jonathan Kuminga, you see Jordan Poole, Gary Payton II, Toscana coming off the bench. There's and Golden State has been playing damn good basketball, and that's without Draymond, who's still injured and still on the sideline. You're still talking about Clay and Steph, who both can have a couple of off nights shooting, but Golden State still finds a way to play damn good basketball. They play defense, first of all. And then it's not just Clay, it's not just Steph. It's literally you're getting contributions from top to bottom. Wiseman hasn't even came back from his injury yet. Like I said, Draymond's still out. And you just look at how that Golden State plays basketball, man. They play damn good basketball. They're not just titties over titles, baby. Matter of fact, and now that Mel's here, we'll definitely get into talk about this. This for being Meek Mink, fat, incoming Timberland boot. But no, man, a crazy situation. Well, not a crazy situation, but I'll play the highlights pretty much the whole time while we talk about it. But I mean, you're looking at these highlights, right? And literally, Philly just got outplayed, outclassed. And one of the biggest things that I was watching during this game, one of the biggest things that Philly wants to do, they want to get that Harden and Embiid pick and roll going. They want to get it going. That was pretty much the selling point that James Harden and we got to be honest, that was the biggest crock of not only collusion, tampering before Harden came over to Philly. I've never seen any blatant tampering as that was. And I don't know how the 76ers haven't been fined. I don't know how the 76ers haven't been punished for that blatant collusion and tampering. That's the prime. There's no way you can tell me Daryl Morey knew that he was going to get Harden regardless, whether it was in the trade or in the offseason. And he said it so, and it came to fruition. And NBA did nothing about it. So that's for one thing. That's one thing that hasn't been discussed, period. That was the biggest crock of tampering I've ever seen. And it was blatant. And NBA did nothing about it. So that's one thing. Then all the talk was, oh, well, once we get Harden, we're going to be pretty much that unstoppable team. We're going to get the pick and roll going. We're going to be almost like Shaq and Kobe. Man, y'all need to pump the brakes on that bullshit. Pump the brakes right now. What we're not gonna do is compare yourselves to anything of Kobe and Shaq-esque level. Because first of all, Embiid ain't won a championship. Harden ain't even come close to winning the championship. That ain't it. This ain't that. Y'all not Kobe and Shaq. Let's take those comparisons and throw them shit straight into the ocean that even Jacques Cousteau couldn't even get to them. Deep in the ocean. So let's cut that bullshit right then and there. I don't. First of all, I hate comparisons. Trying to compare two people who's playing right now into what people in the past have done. Kobe and Shaq was a dominant duo. They did their thing. They won championships. They did a three-peat. They got clout to talk about. Embiid ain't done nothing in the league. Harden ain't done nothing in the league compared to what Kobe and Shaq have done for the NBA. So let's cut that out. That comparison is dead. Throw that shit up and boom, shoot that motherfucker out the sky. It's done. I don't want to hear nothing about that Kobe and Shaq comparison no more when it comes to this. See, and this is what I was trying to tell people after 76ers won 3 in a row. And 76ers had beat teams that ain't up to Philly's caliber. Who do they beat? Okay, they got a win over the Bulls. I give them that. That's a legit win. But then they lost to the Heat. Okay, so what was the first few games? They lost. They beat the Knicks and the Cavaliers. No diss to the Cavaliers. I know that I think the Cavaliers aren't playing good basketball. They not that. They not that. Philly fans got pissed tonight. Well, Philly fans, they had to humble themselves, Matt. They was booing so hard at Simmons, who was just sitting on the bench, and booing the Nets so hard that the Nets took offense to that, and they whooped their ass. They whooped the 76ers ass that they had to start booing their own damn team. This game was beautiful. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. Mel, if you're still out there, I want to lend your ear for a second, because I always refer to you. You're like the residential basketball sensei. And if you got time, you're more than welcome to hop in here and give me your kind of 2 cents. I know you kind of already spoke about it on Man Down, but just in case the I.O.W. audience didn't get a chance to hear it, I definitely would appreciate if you're able to kind of lend your ear for just a second to these to the fellas over here in I.O.W. But Philly, it was all good just a week ago. You beat the Knicks. Whoop de fucking do. You beat the Cavaliers. Whoop de fucking do. But then you got to go against people like the Heat. You lost. You went up against the Bulls. And you were able to get that win on Monday. But then this is what everybody was waiting on. Because you just pretty much swapped between these two teams. So you see all the people like Andre Drummond, Seth Curry, they go over to Brooklyn. I'm pretty sure they felt like they had some kind of chip on their shoulder because you pretty much casted them away. And they killed y'all. They killed y'all. Absolutely made you pay. Absolutely made you pay. Like, come on now. Now, do y'all really think y'all won that trade? You know, don't get me wrong, it looks good, but for a second, you know, you're going to have to play some stiff competition, and Brooklyn Nets, who's going to be part of your competition, you couldn't do nothing with them. Seth Curry was getting off tonight. Let me look at the stat sheet, and no, not everything is based off of stats. But you really got to talk about it just a little bit. Kevin Durant, 10 of 17 shooting, pretty efficient. Shot 50% downtown. 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. I don't like the fact he got 5 turnovers, but 25 points. Kyrie Irving, 8 of 17. Got 4 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 22 points. Look at Seth Curry. Seth Curry, the guy, the guy that you put in the trade. 10 of 14. He killed you. 4 of 8 downtown. 2 assists, a rebound, 5 steals, a block, 24 points. Killed you. Absolutely killed you. Couldn't do nothing with him. He even stayed down and looked at you a couple of times, talk a little junk to the bench. They put him in the trade as if it didn't matter that they could just let go of Seth Curry. Got rid of him. And he came back and got you. Man, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we got Mr. Man Down himself. Y'all give a great welcome to the man, Melvin Wall.
What I miss? I left when you was talking. As soon as you dropped the link, what I miss? I got about 5-10 minutes. What's up?
No, we'll spend about 5-10 minutes on talking about, it was a great game tonight, man. Me and you kind of talked about it in the chat off air.
Yeah.
You talk about this Philly team. They make the trade with Brooklyn, and there's certain players that Philly kind of just threw off. Like, hey, y'all can, because we got what we want. Came back and bit them in the ass tonight.
It really did, man. I got to go back and listen to, because and this is the reason why I like the fact that we got sports podcasts, man, because you get to document things you said and things other people said, and it just makes for a better conversation and a better debate, because I can go back and say, look, remember why I said this, right? And I think I got to go back and double check, but what's up, Matthew? I think I said this is a bad idea to trade pieces that a team that you're going to compete against potentially. Mm-hmm. These are particular pieces that they actually needed to make their team better. They needed a shooter. Mm-hmm. They lost Joe Harris, so an extra shooter was great, right? They needed a strong defender on the wing, which is Ben Simmons. Mm-hmm. And they also needed an interior defender, which is Andre Drummond. Mm-hmm. You gave Brooklyn everything they needed.
That they needed. And got rid of everything that Brooklyn wanted to get rid of.
Mm-hmm. And it would have been smarter for them. And this is Daryl Morey getting his own way, because he wanted to go back to what he knew and what he had with James Harden in Houston. It would have been smarter for him to try to get the Wizards to trade Bradley Beal versus try to get James Harden. That way you still get an offensive punch, but you get a guy that can also move and play off the ball, and also a guy that's going to defend a lot better. I would have went away from Brooklyn and said, Brooklyn, we're not going to make your team better and stronger and deeper. We're going to get Bradley Beal, and you still go have that James Harden. And if it was true that they was going to get James Harden in the summer anyway, then wouldn't that have been better if you don't help Brooklyn?
Now
you send Ben Simmons to Washington, you get Beal, and then you add Harden in the summer. That would have been better.
And not only that, and because I know you said it, and I just said it at the beginning of the show. I don't know how the NBA hasn't come down on Daryl Morey in that front office for that blatant tampering. That was blatant tampering.
I don't think they can prove that. I don't think they can prove it. I mean, and if the communication was just between Harden's agent and Daryl Morey, then maybe that's within the rules. I don't know, but I do know that Daryl Morey had information from James Harden some way, whether it was through his agent or not, that Brooklyn didn't even have. I'm more shocked that nobody in the media. I mean, they hate KD and Kyrie so much that they would rather dissolve James Harden from any fault in this situation and say that he was in his right to do so because of Brooklyn Nets situation with Kyrie. But you
Mhm.
got to do it to quit on his team visibly.
Mhm.
You got a team that you got a dude that's not telling his team what he really want to do, but he's telling it to Morey,
Mhm.
right? And in 2 years, he's forced his way out of two franchises.
Mm.
Crazy.
Here's a funny part. James Harden has had probably one of the best. Him and Westbrook have probably had one of the best supporting casts throughout their whole career, and no championships to show for it. And now that he goes to Philly, I'm of the belief that at some point the other shoe is going to drop. That you deal with James Harden, and he's going to find a way to piss off Joel Embiid. I see it coming.
Mm. You kind of saw it on the floor tonight, did you not?
Mm-hmm. You saw a little frustration.
Yeah, Embiid frustrated. I seen him a couple of times after the net score. Embiid just took the ball and brought it up the court himself
Mm-hmm.
and started the offense and threw it on the wing, avoiding
Harden.
giving it to James Harden. And I seen Danny Green do it 2 or 3 games ago, where he was frustrated with James Harden, and James after a made basket that James Harden allowed because he didn't rotate properly on defense. Danny Green threw the ball about 15 feet ahead to a player, and James Harden was right here in his face. And James Harden just looked at him like this, and Danny Green started talking to him. And I was like, man, I can already tell what that's about.
You can see
Danny
it.
Green, yeah, yeah. So
Danny Green was like, "Nah, motherfucker, get the fuck out the way.
yeah,
You messing us up.
yeah.
You
Play
messing us
play
up."
defense. Don't just let people score and then think that just because you can come down and get a good shot that's good. No, we want to stop people. And at least Ben Simmons gave him that attitude. Well, I want to stop people. That was able to use Ben Simmons to lock people down. He
Mm-hmm.
would accept that assignment. Now you got a guy to think that his triple doubles or his step back threes or his exciting offense or his capability to get you 30 is just going to cover a multitude of sins on defense. That's his real attitude. And believe it or not, that's Daryl Morey's attitude. He's fine with that. He's by the analytics.
And that's all. This is all Darren Moore's fault. He's fell in love with James Harden since they met in Houston, and he has literally gone above and beyond to literally break up a good team in Philly. Philly, in my opinion, didn't necessarily need James Harden. They were still a playoff contending, on the doorstep of being making it to the finals without him.
That I think they're gonna go as far as they could. Okay, this is what James Harden did for them. The teams that they would beat by 5 or 10, right? With James Harden there, you'll probably beat them by 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the teams that are real contenders, uh, it was gonna be the same results anyway. Like James Harden didn't elevate you to where you could outplay the Warriors or outplay not even the Brooklyn Nets. It looks like, right? You're not going to outplay the contenders. Those are the games that James Harden disappear in.
Mm. And the crazy thing about it is Brooklyn wasn't even at full strength tonight.
No, I mean,
they wasn't even at full strength tonight.
bro, it looked full strength to me. That looked like the whole Viagra. That wasn't a half. That wasn't a half right there.
They split them cheeks open. They did that for sure.
As a matter of fact, you're right. That was a half because Ben Simmons is still not even there. Ben Simmons not there.
I believe if Ben Simmons is there, I think this is a worse game because his defense would have been able to lock Harden down.
Bro. Think about this.
This is a
They
29-point defeat.
29-point defeat, and if you can look at it, it could have been worse if Philly didn't shoot so many free throws.
Mm-hmm.
The Brooklyn Nets didn't shoot that many free throws. They only shot I want to say maybe 12 or 13 free throws, and they missed half of those. That was like
Yeah.
shooting 50% from 56% from the free throw line, right? They shot like 13 or 14 free throws. The Philadelphia 76ers had 30 free throws, 31 free throws, but remember, their starter sat down the whole fourth.
Mm-hmm.
They shot half of their free throws in the first quarter just to keep that game close.
Yeah.
Right. The last thing I say is the Brooklyn Nets, the reason why they didn't shoot so many free throws, because they wasn't even getting in the paint that much. All of those kill shots were threes and mid-range jumpers.
Right. They shot 56 from the field, bro. 45 from downtown. And so it's like they put Philly behind the 8 ball before the game was even halfway over.
Just off shooting. Just off shooting, man. You'll watch March Madness when it's a team full of juniors and seniors playing like one of these blue
sophomore and freshmen. Yeah.
Right. And
All Americans, McDonald's All Americans and shit. Yeah.
Right. And all those juniors play defense and they shoot.
Lock them down.
Yeah. and they shoot three. That's what Brooklyn did. They didn't even get in the paint that much, unless it was a turnover. That's how they got their layups. But everything else was threes and jump shots, right? So the reason why I brought that up is Ben Simmons specialized in getting downhill and getting to the paint as a dribble drive. That's an element that they ain't even added yet.
Mm-hmm.
These are just the shooters getting loose on y'all.
Mm.
When Ben show up and start getting downhill like Giannis,
bruh, come on, that's it. It's a 29-point victory tonight, and this is what I'm saying. If Ben Simmons get in his bag and plays them, and adds that element, because you already know he's going to give you the assists. He's going to give you from 7 to 10 assists. He's going to give you at least 8 to 12 rebounds. He's going to play defense. He could lock down James Harden because James Harden's not going to give the effort on defense, but that's what Ben brings. He's going to lock. Look, and this is one thing I think a lot of people forget about Ben Simmons. He was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. You play defense when you're named in that bunch. You play defense. Mm-hmm. That means you can guard, and because of his size, he can guard 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So he can lock down Harden. And then you saw how Andre Drummond, another piece that Philly just have him, take him.
Yeah.
They shut down that pick and roll, which was dangerous. What Harden and Embiid was trying to do, they couldn't pick and roll today. Couldn't get it going.
Well, you know what they did. You know what they did on that pick and roll. The extra man from the 3-point line. Okay, so once they get that 1-5 pick and roll going, so they get the 5 involved in it. The one or the person that's guarding James would stick with James on his hip. Mm-hmm. The 5 will rotate and double James, so that takes away James. So the pass to the roller is Embiid. Mm-hmm. The rotator from the defender from the 3-point line would rotate all the way to the paint, right? They kept doing that and just waiting for Embiid, and there was no roll there. They took the roll away, which means that the pass is supposed to go to that wing, but they had been hitting that roller so much against these teams that they thought that would still go be there. They took it away
instantly.
Now with Seth gone, if they do start hitting that shooter in the corner, who is going to be? Either Tobias Harris, Danny Green,
Maxey.
Maxey ain't ready for that. He ain't ready. Not in this game. He's not ready for that.
Okay, that's fair.
They don't. My point. They don't have a shooter that's going to make you pay consistently
because they gave it away.
They
gave away everything, like you said. They gave away everything that Brooklyn needed, and just said, "Here, because we wanted James Harden so damn bad,
so bad." Yeah,
it's a tragedy, man.
They really chose titties over titles, man. You can literally get 23 points a game from Seth. You didn't have to get James. I mean, you literally probably could have got Bradley Beal heads up for Simmons and kept Seth and Drummond
and been good. You've been a more dangerous, more complete team.
Facts. That would have been scary.
Very scary.
Yeah.
Man, I just had to get you in on it because I'm like, man, I when I saw the matchup, I was like, oh, that's tonight. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this,
man.
And bro, I was sitting here. I'm like, Oh, Philly just got
Yeah.
exposed like a mother, boy. They got just straight. I'm talking about Moses Red parted like the
Man,
damn.
they pulled their whole slip up and exposed everything, man. Pulled that whole slip up, man. He just exposed everything, man. We didn't know the Pope wasn't wearing drawers under that robe. Pulled that whole slip up.
Where, where they did a whole damn Pimp C, man. Pull your skirt
Man,
down, boy.
bro. And it's crazy because I picked Philly to win this game, man, just based off how
Because Brooklyn's been struggling lately. They've been struggling lately.
that defense and that off. I was like, what is Steve Nash doing? Like, what
Mhm.
offensive sets did he got them play? I seen it tonight. I was like, oh, okay, Steve. Like, you do got something on the like, because I didn't see nothing
Nothing.
as far as coaching that Steve Nash was doing to get easy shots for these guys, man. But I seen it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Nah.
take all that back. 18, 9, and 8. Who got 18, 9, and 8?
Who's that, Matt, on that stat? Is that whose stat line is that, Matt? I think
Yep.
I think he's saying that's pretty much all you really need from Steph. I mean, not Steph, but Seth. But
From Seth or Ben. Oh, slash. Okay, 18, 9, and 8, and he's a slash line.
I don't know. Hey Matt, clarify that up, man, because so we can understand. Um, and then you look at pretty much 4 of your 5 starters getting the double figures. What else happened? You managed to win the turnover battle. You definitely outshot efficient wise Philly. It man, just like you said, it was a pure game of basketball, and they
Man, yeah,
exposed
it
the
was.
shit out of them. It should
Yeah.
expose the shit out of them. But hey, man, I ain't gonna hold you too long. I just wanted to get you on here on that topic because I'm like, I know Mel was fucking just loving that shit, just grinning and cheesing watching that game. Just straight cheeks just got busted wide open.
Man. Hey, look, after these Laker games, Philly, Brooklyn, after these games, we gotta start going live and getting in here with like 10, 15
10,
people, man.
15,
Just
hey,
man, we got to get it popping, man.
I'm down
Yeah,
with it. I'm always
yeah.
down with it.
All right.
He's saying nobody's saying what Simmons. He says nobody's saying what Simmons might average with the Nets, in my opinion, is 18, 9,
Yeah.
and 8.
Yeah, and that's all they need to do. I mean, 15 will be I mean, like seriously, like all he got to do, man, it's just going to be so scary with him at the point guard, Kyrie at the 2,
Mm.
right? KD at the
I still put him at
well,
3.
okay. So they'll put Ben Simmons at 4, but he will be the point guard even
On the
more
offensive side.
right, even more than Draymond Green is. So
Mm-hmm.
what it's going to look like is exactly what the Warriors are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kyrie will play the Steph Curry mode where sometimes he will be the point, sometimes he'll be off the ball as a shooter, right? Seth will play the role of Clay with shooting, but
Mm-hmm.
only thing he don't give you that Clay give you is
It's defense.
his defense, right?
Yeah.
And then KD will play KD's role that he played in with the Warriors,
Mm-hmm.
and Ben Simmons will be Draymond Green 2.0,
Mm-hmm.
with Drummond being whatever
The
5 that
5.
was playing for the Warriors. I mean, you only need that 5. It can be
Yeah.
anybody.
Well, he's just there to rebound and make sure that the paint's locked down.
Yep,
That's
just
it.
like JaVale McGee, Kevon
Mm-hmm.
Looney, Saja Pulisic, or whoever played 5 for the Warriors.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
And Nash, I think, knows how to use it because he was on the coaching staff with the Warriors. He was like a shooting coach over there when KD was there. So that's what I expect, man. So look at exactly what Draymond Green does for the Warriors, and that's Ben Simmons' role.
And then when you look at it, Ben Simmons will be obviously taking care of the number one scorer defensive duties, pretty much opposite team shooting guard. So he's going to
Right.
lock that down.
Right.
You don't have to necessarily exert a lot of energy from KD on the defensive side. But when you got a perimeter guard perimeter defender like Ben. So that's half your defense, and pretty much Drummond is taking care of the back half of in the paint. So
Facts.
you pretty much just have to make sure that the other three guys are rotating and at least putting a hand in somebody's face when they shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot of energy you gotta expend on defenses up.
KD know exactly what he got to do with this lineup when Ben get there because it looks just like Golden State. He know like even tonight we seen him post up against Embiid twice.
Mm-hmm.
And one he got the foul call, but it was really a charge. It should have been an offensive foul, and that's when they start chirping. And then the other one, he got him on the switch, and Embiid tried to take advantage of him, and KD poked the entry pass away, and it was a steal.
Mm-hmm.
He when he was by himself, when Harden was hurt and Kyrie was hurt last year, he was in those positions guarding dudes in the post very often.
Because he had to be.
Because he had to.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, he's all the offense, and he's getting
the deep defense. Yeah.
Like this is too much. This is too much on him, and now it's perfect. And Simmons is not even there yet. And the difference between Simmons and Draymond Green is Simmons is an even better defender because he's fast on the perimeter, and then he's 6'11" with a 7-foot wingspan. Draymond Green's just 6'8". Big difference, man. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. All right, my brother, man. Go handle your business, man. Go do what you do. I always appreciate you stopping in and plug everything you got right now before you hop out of here, brother.
Man Down Podcast, and we are the Man Down Podcast Network on YouTube, and our Facebook group is Man Down on Facebook, and the Facebook page is Man Down Podcast Network on the Facebook page. Check us out. Give us a sub. And then we'll catch y'all on the next live we do. We usually go live every Tuesday, but I do impromptus just like Lamar do over here, I.O.W, post game stuff. So go check us out.
All right, my brother.
All right, bro.
Yeah. There it is. Melvin Wall, a good friend of the show, Man Down Podcast Network. I definitely go check out Man Down Podcast Network. Show them some love, support. We've done many collaborations with them. For those who saw, we did a joint venture on the Super Bowl. We did a live stream during the whole Super Bowl. I'm talking about from kickoff through halftime through trophy presentation. But no, good fellas over there. Him, Corey Chin, Jay. You got Man Down Zoe, Cass, Slim. Great cast of guys they got over there. But no, I call him Mel because he's a basketball savant. He's very passionate about basketball, and I mean he's spot on everything. Now, if you want to go back and revisit that question of who won that trade, when the trade first happened, I thought that maybe Philly had won the trade short term as of right now, because Ben hasn't played yet, still hasn't played. And you get Harden on the court a lot quicker, and joining Embiid. You still have Embiid, but then when you look at losing Seth Curry, who was lights out tonight, killed the Sixers in three-point shooting. You lose that defensive piece in Andre Drummond. Very integral in shutting down that pick and roll game that the Sixers thought was going to continue to happen. KD goes off. Kyrie goes off. Joe Harris is out for the year. So luckily Seth Curry was able to, come in and do what he does. Ben Simmons, when he gets back, I like the potential that he's going to be able to bring to this lineup. I just need him to hurry up and get to the damn lineup. I think he's going to be great for Brooklyn. I know Brooklyn, I need to check where they at in the standings. Last time I saw, I think they were 9th in the standings. And I'm not worried about them being in the 9th in the standings, because let's be honest with Brooklyn's situation. They need to figure out how to play with each other, because they got a lot of question marks that are still out that eventually are going to come in. You got to figure out how to play with each other, period. And so I'm not worried about them. They're in the 8th position right now. They got time to get to the 6th seed. And if you really think about it, if they get to the 6th seed, they'll play Philly in the first round. That'll be nice. That'll be nice to see. You know, look at Harden's numbers: 3 for 17 with 11 points. Yeah, he didn't have a good night. Did not have a good night. You can tell he was frustrated. You can tell Embiid was frustrated. And this is what I mean. People got to realize when you got a ball dominant guy like Harden, like Westbrook, and when they play with other guys, other superstars, you're asking other superstars to pretty much change their game to help fill the mode of a Harden or Westbrook or even LeBron. Look, Embiid needs to be the first option every time. I know how good of a scorer James Harden is, but that team was built for Embiid, and it needs to continue to go through him. Doc has a hell of a job on his hands. Doc Rivers has one hell of a job on his hands to make sure that he gets this under control and that it needs offensively needs to run through Joel Embiid first. It has to. He needs to make sure that Joel Embiid is the primary option at all points. Now, I get there's going to be days that Harden is going to get in his bag and go off, but it needs to start with Joel Embiid, period. You know, Joel Embiid didn't have a good game. Only reason why he got 27 points is, hell, he was on the free throw line 19 times. Smart of him to make his free throws with 15 to 19, when two or three from downtown. But other than that, he's 5 for 17. He didn't have a good game, offensively wise, shooting wise. You know, both him and Harden both have 4 turnovers. But Embiid needs to be the focal point. Needs to be. So, yeah, constantly looking for foul each time he drove to the hole, crying like a Buddha baby. I like that, man. I like that. But no, look, it's going to be real interesting, real interesting going down the line with the NBA. It's going to be some close matchups. This is not a lot of separation in the East. There's not a lot of separation in the West. Let me clarify that. In the top 6 teams, from 1 through 6 in the West, there's not a lot of separation. There's not a lot of separation on the East from pretty much 1 through about 9. It's a jam-packed log on the East. The East is going to be real interesting coming down the stretch of these last few weeks of regular season basketball. But earlier in this week, transition to football, we all saw that Russell Wilson had got traded from the Seattle Seahawks to Denver Broncos. But hey, there was some feelings from the fans, and the impact of the trade, it goes beyond just the team. It goes through that community of Seattle, and this is proof of it.
Yeah, clear split, Joyce, tonight. I mean, this is a guy who quietly went to Children's Hospital for years, has been a commercial spokesman. His face is plastered across the city, but apparently not for much longer.
Shocker and a blockbuster today here in Emerald City.
You don't need a seismometer to hear the shockwaves.
Russell Wilson headed the Denver Broncos.
A landscape-altering development.
Crazy day, man, at the dog park, and it's addition by subtraction.
From 12th Avenue in Seattle to Renton, the news landed with a collective gasp.
They're going to be heartbroken. All right.
Seattle star Russell Wilson traded for 3 players most Hawks fans have never heard of, and 5 guys, draft picks, to be named later.
It sucks. It's pretty heartbreaking. I mean, you know, franchise quarterback is something you don't really just come across every year.
Consider Drew Lee surprised about it all.
I definitely think they're a worse team.
Lee says he's been a 12 since before he was 12 and is worried the franchise just made a transformational decision.
Before Russ and before Hasselbeck, I mean, there were some tough quarterback times too. Gave us a lot of memories and, you know, our only Super Bowl.
There were also the business and philanthropic effects as well, as Wilson was front and center in both, named the NFL Man of the Year for his work off the field just a year ago, hence why the aftershocks are likely to continue.
He's the best quarterback the franchise has ever seen.
Even after this quake of a sports story settles down.
Here we are, you know, another era. Hopefully it's not too bad.
Yeah, really the only comparison when the Sonics traded Sean Kemp and Gary Payton, or Ken Griffey was traded by the Mariners. The latter probably the apples to apples comparison here for the connection between the athlete and the fan, and why so many people today are really mourning that guy finally leaving Seattle. That's the story here tonight near Lumen Field. I'm Chris Daniels, King 5 News.
Did y'all not feel just the energy leaving out of those fans? They realize what's going on. They realize that it's time for rebuild time in Seattle. You know that Legion of Boom has been gone for several years. Not only is that gone, you just lost the last piece in Bobby Wagner. He'll be finding a new team, but losing Russell Wilson, that just not only changes that franchise, that changes that city. You're talking about a man that Walter Payton Man of the Year, many contributions to the community. This is not just a loss to that franchise. That's a loss to Seattle. That man was beloved up there. You know, a guy that fans absolutely adored. Russell Wilson, I mean, he's a good dude. He seems like the type that'll do anything to help his community. And that's why I wanted that piece. I saw the piece. I'm like, man, like this isn't just about football. This is about losing a pillar. And you know, unfortunately for Seattle, man, it's going to be. I'm not saying it's going to take a while for them to get back, but it's going to be a couple of years before they resemble anything of the Seahawks since Russell Wilson was there in 2012. It's going to be a minute. You just can't easily duplicate what was done in those years that Russell Wilson was there. Russell Wilson is I believe he's going to do well in Denver. I don't automatically think it makes Denver a Super Bowl contender team. Let's look at the West. Let's look at the AFC West just alone. You got Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, my squad. 4 straight AFC championship games. Two Super Bowl appearances, one Super Bowl victory. Broncos just missed the playoffs this year. Raiders made the playoffs this year. Chargers just missed the playoffs. And then when you look at the Raiders roster with Derek Carr, he's no slouch at quarterback. You got Justin Herbert with the Chargers. He's no slouch at quarterback. There's 4 great quarterbacks in this division alone, and that's not even including the AFC. There's still a Joe Burrow-led Bengals. There's still a Josh Allen-led Buffalo Bills. There's still a Lamar Jackson-led Baltimore Ravens. If they can get healthy again this year, they don't have the injury bug bit them like last year, they're still a playoff team. Tennessee Titans were in the playoffs. You know? Let's not act like the road got a lot easier for Russell Wilson. It got easier for Aaron Rodgers. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, guys. In the NFC, what's Aaron Rodgers' biggest competition? It's the team that just won the Super Bowl. Got to worry about the LA Rams. Drew Brees is already retired last year. He's in the booth. He's with NBC doing the TV shit. Brady just retired this year. Kyler Murray's not ready. Jalen Hurts not ready. Dak Prescott not ready. There's no other quarterbacks really competing in the NFC. So with Russell Wilson going to the AFC, Aaron Rodgers' path got a lot of easier, just got a little bit easier in the NFC. But that leads to what happens with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has to win the championship. You get your receiver back. They just tagged him again for the 2nd year in a row. They're talking about giving you more money, Aaron Rodgers. For me, the excuses are done with Aaron Rodgers. There's no more excuses. You can't keep going 13-3 or 13-4 now that it's 17 games. You can't go 12-5. You can't go 14-3 and keep laying the dud in the playoffs. There's no more excuses for Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, and you're right, Matt. I forgot about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, if they get the quarterback situation right. I like their defense. I love Najee Harris. That offensive line was all young guys for the most part. And so they got a year of experience under their belt. Their offensive line is going to get better. They need to address quarterback. Ben's gone. I'm telling you, when you look at the quarterback situations going on in the NFL, in order to win in the AFC, you have to be at the best of your best at all times because there's a hell of a lot of long lists of good quarterbacks on good teams. You look at the NFC, you're looking at Aaron Rodgers, you're looking at Matthew Stafford. So if I'm Aaron Rodgers, no more excuses. No more excuses. You got to win it. Got to go get the chip. Got to go get the ring. Because if not, then what are we looking at? We're just looking at a very talented guy that looks good in the regular season. Got a ring 13 years ago. I mean, I don't want it to come to that. I like Aaron Rodgers. But if you don't win it, come on. What are we doing? Mac Jones he still got some growing to do, man. He benefits off of being around Belichick. Let's just be honest. He's in a good situation in New England, as in schematic wise with his coach. You know, and he's in a real more favorable situation, I should say. Well, hey, I mean, but if you're telling me to ask Mac Jones to go win the game, I don't like my chances with Mac Jones going out there and saying he's going to win a game on his arm. I got to see more. I got to see more from Mac Jones. Not saying he can't do it. He showed some flashes of some good throws. He did. You know. No, I agree with you, Matt. They're not an easy out. And that's what I'm saying on the AFC. Like, you got to be on a real good team to come out of that conference to go to the Super Bowl this year or the upcoming season. You got to be one bad team. There's a lot of good teams in the AFC now. A lot of good quarterbacks in the AFC. AFC is loaded. Speaking of AFC and AFC West in particular, Chargers got smart. They said, we got our franchise quarterback. And now that we see Mahomes twice a year, see Derek Carr twice a year, and now Russell Wilson is in here twice a year, they went out and got some defense.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bridget Condon from the NFL Newsroom with some breaking news that we bring you here today. Khalil Mack is on the move. The Bears and the Chargers are finalizing a deal that would send the star pass rusher here to Los Angeles. We welcome in Tom Pelissero. Tom, what can you tell us exactly about this deal?
Well, Bridget, my understanding is this trade came together pretty quickly. There's familiarity between Khalil Mack and Chargers coach Brandon Staley, who was Mack's linebackers coach back in 2018 in Chicago. This deal now is agreed to. It's going to involve a second-round pick in the 2022 draft and a sixth-round pick in 2023 going to the Bears for Khalil Mack. Of course, that's a fraction of the price of what the Bears paid when they got Mack from the Raiders several years ago. He's 31 years old, coming off a season-ending foot surgery, but still a highly productive pass rusher and somebody that Brandon Staley knows really well. Now Mack joins a team where he doesn't even need to be the number one pass rusher. He'll play opposite Joey Bosa there. His contract calls for him to make $17.75 million this season, including a $5.5 million roster bonus that is due next week. As far as any potential tweaks to that contract, we'll see exactly how that comes together. But the terms are now agreed to. Khalil Mack about to be an LA Charger, Bridget.
The AFC West is stacking up, as you tweeted. It looks like an all-star game. Russell Wilson just was traded to the Broncos earlier this week, and now we have Khalil Mack as well in the AFC West. If you want to stick with us, we'll have much more on Total Access tonight at 7 o'clock.
There you have it. You're right, man. Absolutely stacked. But kudos to the Chargers. You see Russell Wilson come into the division. You already know you got to see Mahomes twice a year. You already know you got to see Derek Carr twice a year. So you see all these offenses starting to get built with good signal callers, good quarterbacks. We got to get some defense. Got to get somebody that can stop them. Khalil Mack still got something in the tank. 31 years old, savvy veteran. I know if I'm the Chargers, I'll find a way to kind of, restructure that deal. I know he's only making $17.75 million this year, but 2 more years after that, his cap hit goes up. Goes up to like 22.9 and then 23.2. So I will find a way to kind of change those cap hits just a little bit, restructure some of that money, or find a way to, put them in signing bonuses or something. Or incentive-based things in the contract to try to move some of that money around, because as good as Khalil Mack is, and you add him to what Joey Bosa does, you don't need a little bit more. Yeah, you're facing 3 teams that are built for high-powered offenses. You got to find a way to stop them. Yeah. Excuse me. You're absolutely right, Matt. Every team in the AFC has pretty good quarterback. So it's like you're not going to get a week off. You're facing a playoff contending team every week in the AFC. And so you got to go get defense. And now my expectation, especially me as a Chiefs fan, hey, Chargers made the first move, helping their defense. They say, hey, all these quarterbacks coming in, we gonna need some defense. Let's go get Khalil Mack. Chiefs gonna have to answer that. Raiders are gonna have to answer that. Broncos are gonna have to answer that. I'm geeked up, y'all. I really am. I'm geeked up to see. Raise the ante. You goddamn right. This is literally a poker right here. This is Texas Hold'em. You either gonna raise or you gonna fold. What you gonna do? Who's gonna make the next move? Because you can't sit by and wait to get your team better when other teams in your division are getting better. Once that move came through for Russell Wilson to go to Denver, Chargers like, hey, gotta have a rebuttal. Boy, this is getting exciting. You got draft coming up. Free agency starts a little bit, I think, next week in the NFL. NFL is going to be exciting in the offseason, man. This is going to be some exciting stuff. The first 2 dominoes already fell with Aaron Rodgers returning to Green Bay, Russell Wilson going to Denver. Now you got another domino one falling right here with Khalil Mack going to the Chargers. You're going to have a whole you're going to have a whole bunch of dominoes falling towards leading up to the draft, through the draft. NFC blew a high relief. I would too. You got Khalil Mack and Russell Wilson out of that conference. Those are 2 game-changing players. So it's going to get real interesting. Real interesting. Shout out to the big homie Melvin Wall for hopping onto the show for the Man Down Podcast Network. Much love to my brother Matt in the comments, man. Always appreciate the love and the support. My man Chris LaCour came through for a little bit too. Look, y'all, we made all 4 shows this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like we normally do. I ain't got to do a Friday show because I did all 4 like I was supposed to. I'm just messing around. So look, appreciate the love and support. Y'all come back now on Monday, unless I do an impromptu show. But we'll be back Monday. episode 152. Same midnight hour, same wild card mar. Y'all have yourself a safe and happy weekend. Peace and love, y'all.
Yo. Sound like LTD verse. Let's get it. Let's go. Yeah. Alright, let me get serious this time. Yo, I'm on my God of War shit. All the war spits, let the bass kick, nigga, feel the fucking floor lift. Watch your pores rip from these razor blade fingertips. Smoke hit your face like a hammer fist. Outstanding with suicidal flow. Nose diving to a free fall. Speedball, cannonball, jugging out on Adderall. I just watch the bodies fall. Supercharged like Dragon Ball. When I spit this fire out my mouth, you hear the dragon skull. Deadly with this supposed to nip your softer than some woven silk. Grind the rapper's flesh in the syrup and call it muscle milk. So nutritious, my hunger forever endless. I'm vicious and bloodthirsty, my nigga. I handle business pretentious, I leave them injured. Eating figures for dinner, underground like not the splinter. Then hibernate for the winter. Illiterate, so I can give a fuck about the sentence. Belligerent, so I don't give a fuck about repentance. Johnny plays with a bag of haze over roast spirits. I'm forced to be reckoned with when I'm beating all limits. These lyrics are packed with venom. Rattlesnakes in the kitchen, cooking the recipes full of poison. I leave them finished.
Come to punches, yo, I only landed threes. These thick riding MCs is copping plan B. Never was a M fan, they can't stand me. Been dope since before Hope sampled Annie. If it's smoke, I ain't gon' blame the jammy. Cause folk, my hands is nicer than your granddaddy. Don't spar unless you a piece and a half. If you same boat when I put feet on the track, I fuck MCs up, I'm bringing evil back. Yea, though I walk through the valley, I push it. They gon' find rappers that got at me in my footprints. The embodiment of cocaine and no-dos. I got a habit of pulling souls through nose holes. Open your old holes, sugar you sweet. If it's BP, I'll bring it to your door like Uber Eats.
Deliver a fade to all you niggas, I just wanna unload. Basking and scream on my foes, find a way to compose. The ashes play up my throat, pull them fuse up the dope. Blow a ring of the smoke, terrorize all the small fires, wash them down with a coke.
Viciously viscous, I flow like rape whispers. You wishless spitters will beat the Big Dipper. Front away, bitch, you ain't clapping shit. Keep playing G, the mask don't fit. You tonic water MCs minus the flavor. I'm the illest since my mom went into labor. Sick with it, slick with it, punchlines is a major. You motherfuckers to sit back.